Yes.
Tom Rico from the Peace Education Center. It
Here
seems
in Lansing?
in East Lansing, Michigan. Peace Podcast. The administration, we seem to be ramping up for a war with Iran and I think with Venezuela. How do we stop this? I mean, and what is the media seems to be repeating itself in dealing with that.
The fact that you're saying it is absolutely critical, and it's the role of bloggers, it's the role of journalists, and we've got to hold these corporate media journalists' feet to the fire on this. We already know what they did in Iraq. We already know about the lead up to the invasion. And then year after year, the repeating of the lies of weapons of mass destruction. Now they wring their hands. How did we get it so wrong? And yet, here they are doing exactly the same thing, reading the same scripts, talking about weapons of mass destruction, when the NIE that came out, the National Intelligence Estimate of the, 16 main intelligence agencies in this country, say it's not true, the evidence isn't there. The IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, says the same thing, and yet you keep hearing this mantra, weapons of mass destruction for Iran. The only thing you can do is get out information. And the same thing with Venezuela. I mean, you see what's happened. I think Iraq saved Latin America, right? Bush administration is totally focused on Iraq, and one country after another elects populist leaders. The U.S. is hungry for oil. We've got the oil oligarchy in Washington. Is it any surprise that they go after these countries that are rich in oil? You know, the joke of the little kid who says to his father, "What's our oil doing under their sand?" So here you have Iraq, and then you've got Iran, you've got the vilification of Latin American leaders who simply want to do what the U.S. has done, protect their industry, support their people. And the most important way to challenge this is with information. And that's why you all are so important, play such a pivotal role.
Information and agitation. It takes street action. That's what's going to happen with this. And the administration will find that it's no longer easy to invade Latin American countries.
Could you define street action? How can a blogger cause change that results in street action?
By doing what Amy said, you can put out facts and information the same way that you have done it in the past. Let people know what is going on, where we can meet, rally, and who we can target.
Do we report it or do we order it?
Both.
I mean, the corporate media beats the drums for war. They're real agitators and organizers, right? When people think that there's reason to be afraid, there's every reason to want to protect your community, your family, your country. And that's what the media did, whipped people into a frenzy. Noam Chomsky talks about how the media manufactures consent. It manufactured consent for war. In Standing Up to the Madness, we chronicle all these people, and we go back to the story of World War II, the White Rose Collective, when you ask about the importance of information. Sophie and Hans Scholl, they weren't Jewish, they were German Christians, and they thought, what could they do in the face of the Nazi atrocity? They could get out information so that the Germans would never be able to say, we didn't know. So they put out these 6 pamphlets, and on the front of the 4th pamphlet it said, we will not be silent. They were captured, they were tried by the Nazis, convicted, and beheaded. But that philosophy, that motto should be the Hippocratic oath of the media today. We will not